Thank you all for being here today. I want to specifically thank the members of the Santa Clara PAC who spent days putting this process together. The PAC endorsed 2 years ago, and fortunately, all the candidates won. The purpose of our PAC is to support candidates that we best feel represents the values of many businesses in the Better Santa Clara area. These values include seeking individuals with different backgrounds and ethnicities. Last year, we approached the Hispanic, the Black, the Vietnamese chambers looking for possible candidates. We did not get the interest we had hoped, and we were not able to find candidates interested in serving the city through an elected position. From this experience, we decided we wanted to add an educational portion to our endorsements. We felt by streaming these interviews, we'd be able to educate and interest future candidates for council positions. The difficult times that the city is facing has become even more apparent that we need individuals with business backgrounds that can help make good short and long-term decisions. For the candidates that we will interview today, it is not intended to make this process difficult. Rather, we're hoping to make you aware of the problems and issues that face the city, specifically that affect business. Not all candidates decided to be interviewed through this process. To those that did not, we wish you well. If you do not receive an endorsement, it is because if you do receive an endorsement, it is best because we felt that you represent the many businesses of Santa Clara. If you don't receive an endorsement, we want you to know that we appreciate your efforts and we applaud the fact that you're involved. If you're elected, endorsed or not, we look forward to working with you. It's important to note the long history the city has with the businesses in Santa Clara, one of mutual respect and an ability to find common goals that benefit all the citizens. We're relatively new to endorsing candidates, and we want the process to be very transparent. We want to provide voters with as much information about the process and the decision we have made. I wish to congratulate all the candidates for their choice to be involved with the city of Santa Clara, a decision you'll never regret. So let's begin. Our first candidate, Mohammed Nadeem, is running for seat 3. He will have 10 minutes to introduce himself and a 5-minute close with questions in between. Mohammed?
Thank you, Dick Topkin, Chair of the Santa Clara Chamber of Commerce Political Action Committee, and thank you for all the members of the committee here. This is such a privilege and honor to be here this morning. Thanks again for people who are watching on their gadgets and wherever they are. Thank you so much. I am really honored to be here. First of all, I'd like to briefly make some comments. I have been a resident of Santa Clara for the past 20 years. I really love this city and I want to make a difference, have a significant impact. I have a beautiful family, my wife Sarah. We have 4 children. They're all born here, grew up here in Santa Clara. They attend Santa Clara schools, and we really enjoy being part of this community. By profession, I'm a professor of business. I have been in academia for the past 15 years almost. And before that, I have had an opportunity to work several high-tech companies, including Western Digital, Lockheed Martin, and many other startups. And really privileged to have such an opportunity here in America, here in California, Santa Clara. I come from a very humble background. When I came to this country 20 years ago, back in 1992, I worked hard to be where I am now. Did my master's and PhD. I have a business background, specialization in marketing, and had the opportunity to serve the community of Santa Clara, my own community, and also the city of Santa Clara as a civil services commissioner for 2 terms for the past 8 years. My term just ended back in June of this year. Within the community of Santa Clara, I have had the opportunity to serve on several commissions in the sense of agencies. For example, I've been on the board of Santa Clara Library Foundation, Santa Clara Historic Home Tour Committee, and a number of other departments, such as very recently I'm honored to have been invited to serve on the Mission City Community Fund. My goal for running for public office, as you can imagine, coming from a very diverse background, it really takes a lot to run for a public office. I ran for City Council of Santa Clara a couple of years ago, and I did very, very well for the first time. I received over 45% of votes. And I'm really proud of citizens of Santa Clara, because I really believe that they have an open mind and a big heart. And they have provided me opportunity and love and kindness to come back again and try again this year to be part of, hopefully, City Council this year. My mission for Mission City, Santa Clara, is very, very simple. I'm focusing on three main priorities, such as economic development, fiscal responsibility, and also focusing on the core services, such as police, fire, libraries, senior centers, and the youth. And my goal for City of Santa Clara is to make sure that all the projects that the city works on have fiscal responsibility. We need to make sure that we are sustainable as a city. My theme for this year is our shared and sustainable future, because it's important that Santa Clara as a community, we would like to see that the communities thrive and that the businesses grow here in Santa Clara. We have a tremendous opportunity. For example, we are here in Santa Clara in California, where people from all over the world have come here, have enormous education, tremendous talent, and amazing skill set they bring to Santa Clara. And as leaders of Santa Clara, especially people with business background, as I was emphasized this morning, has an amazing opportunity to make sure that we invite those businesses here in Santa Clara, particularly the small businesses that are here. As leaders of the community, we have an opportunity to strengthen those businesses, make sure that we provide opportunity for them to grow in Santa Clara. And also, because we are Silicon Valley, part of the Silicon Valley, because of the talent we have in our community, is that it's an obligation, it's a huge responsibility for us to provide that vision from the council, particularly for businesses, to make sure that we entice them, provide some incentives. I'm proposing that, especially for small businesses, that for the next 12 to 24 months, that we provide some tax incentives for businesses who are existing in Santa Clara, and also for businesses who want to come to Santa Clara. So we would like to see that our communities thrive because of such opportunities. In the last 3 to 4 years, because of the recession, we had a huge impact, not only on our families, but also businesses. But I think we are coming out of this recession. And this is an amazing opportunity now that we provide that leadership to the businesses and the communities throughout Santa Clara. And I also want to say that, in the last, especially last 3 years, I'm really blessed and honored to have knocked on the doors, talked to as many people in Santa Clara, residents and citizens of Santa Clara, and they have given me their love and kindness, and they have invited me into their homes, and I'm really honored to thank them for such support that I have received. And I'm continuing to receive support. I have done well in terms of fundraising, and I plan to complete the full amount ethics split that I have signed, $36,000+, and I will do that. I have done that. I was the top candidate to have raised a full amount in the last election, and I'll do the same this year. I have tremendous support from the community. People are supporting from all backgrounds, not just as a diverse candidate, just the minority community, but I have seen that people in Santa Clara, because of their open mind and a big heart, they're supporting, they're sending donations, they're walking precincts, they're taking my lawn signs, my door hangers, and I'm receiving tremendous support. And I'm hopeful that with the opportunities and with the support that I'm receiving from the community throughout and also businesses, particularly along the El Camino and many other cities, and many other streets in Santa Clara, that I'm hopeful that with your kindness and love and support, I'll be honored to be part of the council and serve the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nadeem. We're going to start the questions with Myron Von Racefield, and we'll start with him and move to our left. And here we go.
Good morning, Mohammed.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming out. We really appreciate you coming here and sharing your thoughts and views with us and the others that are watching. For starters, why don't we start by you telling us why have you chosen to run for city council now, and what have you done to prepare yourself, or are you doing to prepare yourself for the tasks that you have ahead of you?
Thank you, Madam. That's a great question. Running for city council, I believe that is a natural progression for me as a candidate, as a person from a diverse background. For example, I have always believed in community service, in public service, and I have done very, very well. I'm proud of the education that I have received. I'm honored to have received. I have a PhD in business. I have completed training programs such as the Police Academy, Citizen Police Academy, the Fire Academy programs, and also having served on the commission, Civil Services Commission, for 2 terms in the past 8 years. So as you can see, the business education, doctoral education, the community service as a commissioner, and also the training that I have received from the police and the fire, and serving on the Santa Clara Library Foundation, Historic Home Tour Committee as a co-chair, and now serving on the Mission City Community Fund. You know, I believe in the community side. I want to give back to the community. I have received so much from the city, from the country, that I want to make a difference, have a significant impact, and that's why I'm running for city council, and I hope to win this November. Thank you.
Miles, do you have a question for the candidate, please?
Dr. Nadeem, you have expressed in your questionnaire to the Chamber PAC a number of positions that you have regarding issues that we're going to be facing here in Santa Clara. One of the really tough issues is that which deals with the pension system that we currently have. The state of California has recently made some adjustments to the CalPERS system, which the city of Santa Clara belongs to. Are there any additional things that you see that you feel that the city of Santa Clara will need to address?
Thank you, Miles. Another great question. As I've said in my questionnaire, answering the unfunded pension liabilities issue, I think the issue is not just Santa Clara that's facing this issue. Throughout the nation, all the cities, all the states. And just a week and a half ago, Governor Brown made some proposal. And the day after, we saw in the San Jose Mercury News editorial, there are some loopholes in that. So this is a big issue. I think we need to confront, we need to make sure that we resolve this issue. And it can't be just done overnight. I think it's going to take some time. It needs to be done gradually. Some of the things that I propose, for example, I have said that we need to consider a 2-tier system, for example, for the new employees. I have a huge respect. I honored public safety employees, particularly the police and fire, especially people who have been in the jobs for 25, 30 years. I don't think that we can just punish them by taking away what they have. Because they have served their community honorably. And I think what we need to do at the same time is to make sure that the system is sustainable. And in order to do that, perhaps we can, through dialogue and negotiations, perhaps we can have a proposal of making sure that the employees are making contribution, perhaps a little bit more than what they're doing right now. And also, I think the other proposal could be we should look into raising the age for retirement, for example, the COLA adjustment. So the number of proposals I'm proposing, but I think they cannot be just done because we want them to be done. But I think it has to be done through conversation, through dialogue, negotiation. And because I think if we don't do that, if this goes to the court, I think it's a waste of time and energy, and nobody's happy with that. So we need to make sure that we want to make sure that the Santa Clara pension is sustainable, and then we need to approach from several different directions. And all of the people who have served this community for 25, 30 years, well, we need to make a fresh start for new employees. That's what I think. Thank you.
Thank you, Nadeem. We're going to try Dave Delosier, who's on vacation but wants to be with us too for the next question. Dave, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Do you have a question for the doctor?
Mohammed, thank you for putting in your application to be a city council member. I read over your answers in your resume and everything. I think you addressed the questions quite well. I do have one on land use issue, and when we talk about housing and some of those things, if it is the council's prerogative to build housing or allow housing in our entertainment district, how do you address the I built next to a stadium, but now I don't like it issue?
Thank you, Dave. And I'm glad you're having some vacation in Tahoe, wherever you are. I think the simple answer, Dave, I think what I have said for the last 3 years is that building a stadium is really, it's a great project, and I have supported that, and I continue to support. At the same time, I think we need to build a sense of community around that stadium. What I mean by that, when people come to watch the game and they're done, they leave town, we're really not benefiting from those 60, 70,000 people, especially the businesses around that. So we need to have infrastructure that provides these visitors to Santa Clara to avail the opportunity of having some business transaction. When we're talking about housing, I have proposed, as I've said in my questionnaire, that we have a wonderful example from San Jose, which is Santana Row. And I've been talking about in several different forums that as people from different business background, and also people who have a vision can provide that leadership, that we need to make sure that we provide such a model around the stadium where there is a mixed housing, there are shops, people can bring their families there, and create that sense of community around the stadium. And I think purely from a business perspective, I think what's going to happen is that it's not only great for business in Santa Clara in terms of revenue generation, but also good for the community, because Santa Clara right now, we do have a small downtown, but we want a great downtown. And I think stadium around that area is a perfect place to create that downtown, that mixed housing place where when people come, they want to come back to Santa Clara, not just for the game and for the sports, but also for the businesses and the shops and the community that's out there. And I'm hoping that I'll be part of the discussion on the council beginning this year, because I really believe that's a huge opportunity. Just building the stadium I think is not enough. We need to do more. And there is land, there is space. What it needs is the leadership, that foresight to do that. And I think we can do it.
Thank you. Brendan Harrington, do you have a question?
I do, thank you. Thank you for being here today, Dr. Nadeem. Let's fast forward 5 years.
Yeah.
Excuse me, 4 years.
4 years, yes.
What have you accomplished?
We could do 8 years.
8 years, there you go. Fast forward 8 years. Let's start with 4 years. What have you accomplished, and how does the city look?
Great question, Brendan. I think city will look amazingly well, simply because, but in order to get there 4 years from now, 8 years from now, we need to have a vision. We need to provide that leadership. I've talked about several different things. And in order especially for the chamber, I think chamber has a huge role to play to make sure that we get there strong. And not just for big businesses, but for small businesses, because Santa Clara has a lot of small businesses. We need to strengthen those businesses, families, 2 or 3 people, husband and wife. I think it's important that we continue to provide opportunities for them to grow, and also entice. I have talked about having a corridor of regional corridor. I talked about that. We take the leadership. I know there are a number of forums where Silicon Valley Leadership Group and all those groups are there. But I think it's in our own interest for Santa Clara to step up to the plate, provide that leadership, and then make sure that more and more new businesses are coming to Santa Clara. And they're not going to come just because we are a great city. But we have to provide that infrastructure. We need to provide that opportunity and forum, tax incentives, anything that we could do. And I think a collaboration between chamber and the council is really the way to go. And it has to be a combined leadership on this issue. And I think 8 years from now, this is going to be an amazing city. And I want to be part of that. Thank you.
Lou Mariani, you have a question?
Yes, I do. Thanks for joining us today. Yeah, I read your questionnaire, and you addressed the housing imbalance, job housing imbalance, which I appreciate, and you already expressed yourself as far as having more housing by the stadium. But what you didn't bring up is how infill developments, redevelopments would fit in. And along that line, could you also address, for example, housing near the Caltrans stations, if higher density would make sense, if the neighborhood appropriate there in excess of what the general plan already allows?
Yes, no, thank you. And I think I've alluded to this question already, but I think housing imbalance in Santa Clara, there are a number of projects that are going on. For example, Kaiser property, Barrett property, and many other places. I was just driving to this place, and I see a number of development right here on the street, and that's good, because I think the economy is improving, the developers are coming back, and that's a good process. But we need to go beyond that, I think, especially in the entertainment district. As I said just a few minutes ago, perhaps a Santa Honora model, maybe an upscale model of that. And the vacant land we have in the city, if we provide that opportunity, I think we will see more and more development, especially in the entertainment district. And I think that as part of the council, I would lead that effort. And I think in order to have that infrastructure and grow in that area, the influence you talked about, the city local government can provide some tax incentive for the businesses and for the developers, I think, to really build that area around the stadium and also the entertainment district. And again, I think it's going to happen when there is a strong collaboration between chamber and the council. If that goes, I think we really can take this to the next level. That's one of my thoughts.
I guess I get the last question.
Oh.
You gave an idea of tax incentives to attract businesses, both businesses that are here and businesses that might come here. Could you give me examples of types of credits or incentives that you suggest, and what would be the offset to the covering those costs?
This is a good question, but what I'm suggesting and proposing is that for the next, let's say we start from now, from today, for the next 12 to 24 months, for 2 years, as the economy improves, we put that proposal out on the table, saying that for existing businesses to grow, and for new businesses, particularly I talked about the software, biomedical, and clean energy, If we provide that vision and leadership, because of the geographic area that we are a part of the Silicon Valley, I think more and more businesses will be attracted to Santa Clara. The number of examples, I think, if you look around San Jose and many other cities, Cupertino, especially Cupertino, I think with the Apple project new building coming up, the cities are looking for ways to increase that revenue, to generate that revenue. And I think this is an excellent opportunity for us to take that leadership and provide that tax incentive. And I think we'll get there if we provide that leadership. Thank you.
Now you have 5 minutes to have a closing discussion. Anything we've left out, you can add to.
Sure. Thank you, Dave. Thank you to the committee for the opportunity this morning. I'm really so blessed and honored to be here. As I've said, running for public office is not easy, especially for somebody from a diverse background. It takes a lot. If you look at the history of Santa Clara, for the last 100 years, perhaps 150 years, there has never, ever been a person of a diverse background on the council. And it really takes years of preparation, education, training, and experience serving on different commissions and boards, and support of the family, the job challenges that we go through here in the Valley. It really takes a lot for a person to stand here right in front of you and requesting your support, your donations, your vote, because it really takes a lot. And I'm blessed. I have a great family. I've received great education, and I had opportunities that I think only can happen here in America, here in Santa Clara, here in California. And I want to be part of this process. You know, running for city council, especially Santa Clara, there are no stock options, there is no glory. I'm not looking for those things because it's not there. I'm running because I want to serve the community. And I think I've done really, really well, simply because of your support. You have given money, you're walking precincts, you're hanging door hangers on people's doors, and you have given me that love and support. So the decision in your hands. I'm willing to do my part. I would like to provide the leadership on the council, and I'm requesting your support. I'll be honored to serve on the council as a citizen of Santa Clara. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nadeem.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll just take my stuff here.
And this will end our first candidates interview.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we're doing a 1 to 10.